time to put my medal on. Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not save. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. So easily we're persuaded. When the lines of blood are faded, no one ever starts that way. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made.
And welcome. Go ahead, Rob. Take it. Sorry.
No, it's all right, dude. It's all right. Welcome to Critical Mass with me, your host, Rob, and my brother, Enrique Tario. What's going on, brother? We have a very special episode tonight, and that episode is we're going to be premiering on X the interview that Enrique did with somebody named Jeremy Bertino. He ended up turning state's evidence against the Proud Boys, was coached on how to lie on stand properly, and this was a very tough interview for a lot of reasons, especially since his testimony was directly responsible for the 22 years that Enrique got and the 18 that Joe got. And, you know, it's I watched most of the interview last week, and I personally have feelings about this because of my actions on December 12th, and it's rough. It really is. Like, I see my brother and my brothers go to jail, and I know that they don't blame me for it, but, you know, survivor's guilt, I guess you could say. You know, I saved this guy's life in D.C. on the 12th, only to have him turn around and do what he did. But now you get to hear in his own words what the Biden DOJ really did, how nefarious they were. And you guys make up your own mind. What we're going to do is we're going to have commentary going through it, so it's not going to be you guys just sitting here listening to the whole thing. If you have any questions, please request up. We'll bring you up. Keep your hand up. Please don't open your mic, but this is a live broadcast. And Enrique, take it away.
So this is also the NBLE episode 2. This is actually, since my release, I've done 2 episodes of the NBLE podcast. Before that, there was 9. I usually have on pretty interesting people. Obviously, this one's of high interest. I released this last week on Wednesday on my Substack, and it was a Substack exclusive, so it's the first time. More than, I think I have like 15 paid subscribers, give or take. So only about 15 to 20 people have seen this. So we're unlocking it now for you guys. Give me 1 second. Actually, you know what? I thought I had it already queued up.
You son of a bitch.
Always.
Oh my God.
Professionalism here is unrivaled.
One of these days, we're going to have a professional producer doing this stuff so that all we can do is concentrate on entertaining people. Oh, yeah. That's going to get me the friggin' copyright strike.
No, I'm actually going to move it forward.
All right.
I had all this set up, but then I had to restart it because you had audio problems.
Oh, it's my fault. The guy blames me for this.
It is
shit, here we go. It's my fault. It's always my fault.
All right, so here we go. We'll pause it every once in a while. Rob, we'll be in the background.
Yep.
Just either we could talk and be like, hey, pause it here, but let's try not to do it too often. We're going to take questions from both the comments. I will also be putting comments on the screen, and we'll be taking questions from the spaces right after. So without further ado, here we go. I'm going to take us off the screen, Rob.
Yep.
Your spaces will still hear you.
Yeah.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male-dominated.
And this right here shows you the power when we, the right wing, unite.
Leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon killing demons. I'ma go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. If you're gonna bring the hate, we can bury it today. We all been lost, we all been cold. Everyone rise to our brethren code. We got your back, we all been low. Let's all rise to the brethren.
But in no other nation do people enjoy great freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America. USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization, and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first. America first. America first. Who's street? Who's street? We're all Proud Boys. We're all Proud Boys. Fuck Antifa. Fuck Antifa. Fuck Antifa.
Because I'm the head of the organization, and I know what I planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not plan to storm the Capitol. I started episode 1 last time talking about the intro to my show, right? And the intro to my show is about like 4 years old. And it's important in this situation to bring it up again. You know, the first time was with Lieutenant Shane Lamond of the Metropolitan Police Department, because he was there during those times. And the person I'm having on now was also there, and he's also pictured in that intro, because everything that happened to us happened in that period between the election in 2020 and January 6th. This episode is probably one of the most difficult ones for me to go through. Granted, who's my next guest on here. And when I started thinking about bringing him on, I knew how difficult it would be to even speak to him now. So the person that I have in the green room right now his name is Jeremy Bertino. And he was there during election night when we got assaulted. He was there in November. He was there on December 12th. And moving forward through many situations that happened after that and before the election, we were very close. You know, we spoke. I met Jeremy in 2019. Met him at a couple rallies that we had across the country. So without further ado, because I'm going to go on a fucking diatribe and I can't do that right now. Without further ado, I am bringing Jeremy Bertino on the screen. Jeremy, how's it going?
Hey man, it's going all right. I never thought I'd be in the situation again, but I'm happy to be here, honestly.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you agreed to do this. I have a list of questions to go through. And these questions are obviously not going to be easy for you to answer. I think most of the viewers know who you are, but some don't. I've put the questions together in a way where they find out who you are. So let's start with number 1. When did you join the Proud Boys?
I believe it was 2018, in the fall of 2018.
Why? Why did you decide to wear these colors?
And man, I'll tell you honestly, for a couple of years, I'd been watching what was going on. Ever since Trump had got elected, and watching all these people, wearing a MAGA hat getting assaulted, and I was just, I was kind of like, man, how is there not a group of people just forming up that, have similar views, and they'd be willing to step into the line of fire and protect these people. And, I think I came with the whole Rufio Punch onslaught of members that, watching that, and then I saw Rufio on Alex Jones. I had been on Alex's network a couple of times before that for a couple of rallies that I had put on, and I watched Alex religiously, and I saw Ethan, and I saw what the Proud Boys were about, and I was like, that's exactly what I've been looking for. A group of men that feels the way I do, that would be willing to protect people and keep people from getting assaulted just because they have a different view from someone else. So that's initially the reason.
You joined the Proud Boys. What was the oath, or what was the creed that you took when you joined the organization?
I'm a Western chauvinist, and I refuse to apologize for creating the modern world.
Okay. And you said you were a protector. I mean, we were protectors, and you became a protector at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. I did.
So let's fast forward. Let's start going through this timeline. December 12th, which was the second Million MAGA March. What was the big issue that happened that night?
Well, I mean, happened to me. Me and three others got stabbed. But there was multiple things that happened that night that would change the course of our lives forever.
There was two particular events. One was what you just mentioned. It was a stabbing, and there was another event that changed pretty much the future of the Proud Boys. Correct?
The BLM banner burning.
Okay.
Yeah.
After those events, right? I communicated with you a lot. I actually stayed in DC for a couple of days extra because you were in the ICU getting surgery for getting stabbed, correct?
You are a stand-up dude, absolutely. That's exactly what you did.
After that, there was changes within the Proud Boys that I pushed. What were they and why?
You didn't want that to happen again. You instituted the MOSD, which was supposed to be the new standard for how we operated at rallies, to keep our guys safe, to keep our guys from getting arrested, to keep people under control, because we saw that things could get out of control real quick on either side. So MOSD was initially just supposed to be the new standard for rallies, man, to keep everybody from ended up in the hospital like I did. I think I was a major reason that happened. Me and the other three guys that were stabbed that night. That situation, plus the election night, the assaulting that happened to us there. Yeah, man. I mean, I was all for it because, in the middle of that, I'm recovering from almost dying. It was important to me for sure.
How many people did we have on the ground on December 12th? How many Proud Boys were on the ground on December 12th?
Thousands, man. I had to be. I'd venture to say a low guess 1,200, but that's very low. It was probably close to 2,000.
Yeah, that's accurate. We had close to 2,000 guys, and then I'm going to move quickly, just for a quick second forward in the timeline. How many members of this Ministry of Self-Defense, this MOSD, were on the ground on January 6th?
Not very many. I think there was maybe 20. I'm just giving a rough estimate. I don't think there was that many.
Yeah, the number was 33.
Okay, so it's close. Yeah, not very many.
There was other Proud Boys that went, but what did I separate? Well, I'm asking a question I know the answer to, but what did I tell other Proud Boys that weren't part of this ministry in DC that day? Like if they were coming to DC, because I can't stop a person from coming to wherever they wanted to go. What did I say?
I think most of the narrative was, hey, you guys can, be there, but you're not going to march with us. until you've, been agreed to uphold the standard of how we are going to operate at rallies going forward. And I believe there was something about not wearing colors that day. Those are two major points that stick out to me from then.
Yeah. And there was, correct me if I'm wrong here, there was a meeting, a video conference that I had, and I stated those. I stated what I wanted to do with the ministry, right?
Very clearly, you did. Yes. There was zero. There's zero way that you can interpret what you said any other way.
Okay, and I was very strong in my opinion that I didn't want any more issues like what happened on December 12th. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we were all in agreement that nothing like that ever needed to happen again. Yeah.
The January 6th event was announced shortly after I created the Ministry of Self-Defense. Well, we created the Ministry of Self-Defense. I had the idea, and obviously there was people that helped me execute that idea.
Mm-hmm.
So what was, after that announcement, what was the plans by the MOSD group, this specialized group within the Proud Boys? What were our plans for January 6th?
They were to listen to Trump speak. There was 4 different stages that day originally that were set up before Trump decided to speak. And we were going to, I know you were slated to speak a couple of times. And if I was feeling up to it, I was going to go in with you if I could travel with my injuries. But we were going to be there. I mean, I specifically wasn't planning on being there, but the idea of who was there was to go to all the speeches and all the stages, pretty much escort you and whoever else was going to be speaking to the stages.
Why wasn't I at January 6th?
Well, because I believe it was January 4th. You flew in and they swatted you in a underpass is what I believe I remember. They surrounded your vehicle like you were Saddam Hussein. And they finally caught him, or Osama bin Laden, for a simple misdemeanor. So you were arrested.
And arrested for a misdemeanor. You saw what happened that day on December 12th, because it was shortly before you got stabbed. You saw how the Black Lives Matter banner went up in flames, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I did.
So, closing out in this section, I'm going to ask you a question. Understand and wait till I finish asking it and just answer the last portion, because we're going to get into the first portion later on. Understand, while we were at trial, you looked me in the eye and you said you loved your brothers. Can you give me 3 words that describe that love?
3 words. Loyalty, honesty, and respect.
Let's stop it right there really quick, Rob. I asked him this for a specific reason, right?
Yep.
Would you agree with him on those 3 words when you describe that you love somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
do you think that he followed through with all 3 of those words at any moment?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So for the people that are listening, watching the live, and the people that are in the space, because everybody that's watching the live, we do have a live space going. If you go to my page at the Rob1772, you guys can join in on the conversation if you have any questions for Enrique or myself. I wasn't there on January 6th, but I was there on December 12th. and I was part of the MOSD. So yeah, you can join in on the conversation. But
and I ask him this for a specific reason. Later on, I come back to this, and I wanted to start with this because I wanted to see what his position on love was.
So, if you guys don't know, and I know Enrique has talked about this, but he doesn't talk about it much. They tried to get him to lie on the stand and say that the Proud Boys and him specifically colluded with President Trump to incite an insurrection. And Enrique, facing the time that he was facing, which is 22 years in jail, said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
You didn't sell out, bro. I don't really give a shit when anybody has to fucking say you didn't sell out. Neither did Ethan, neither did Joe, neither did Zach, and Dom definitely didn't.
Well, we get into that.
Dom definitely didn't.
Definitely not. We get into that in a second, so I'm going to go back. Can you make sure that your Spaces is hearing you correctly?
Yeah, they can hear it. They can hear us fine.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Is what comes to mind.
Okay. Hey, Rob, mute your mic a sec.
Good.
Stand by really quick. I was getting a little bit of feedback from like your AC.
I don't have AC down here, dude. It's a hot box, bro.
No. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's move on to the following year. How long? Before I move on to the following year, how much time did I do for that banner burning?
I think it was 6 months. But I don't know. I think you got sentenced to 6 and you ended up having to do 4.
Yeah.
Which seemed like, pretty ridiculous and like they were trying to max you out, basically.
Well, I agree.
I think they tried to give you a year, but even the prosecutor told the judge or something, hey, you can't do that.
Was there anybody else arrested for the burning of the banner?
Not to my knowledge, no.
All right. What happened on March 8th of 2022? The following year.
My then girlfriend, now wife's house was raided.
Okay. Were you present?
No, I was not present. They actually, I had left her house that morning and went to work. And they followed me to work. And so I was there. I was at work when they grabbed me at the exact same time they were executing the raid at the house.
Okay. But other things happened in March. Do you remember what else happened in March?
You got raided and arrested. I can't remember. I think they raided Johnny Blackbeard at the same time that they hit mine and your house.
They raided a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Including
that whole month you talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah. It was big time raiding everybody that month. Yeah.
So just for to let you know, on March 8th, that was the day I got arrested in the morning. I actually have to go back. I missed a question on that first section.
Okay.
Did I at any point before January 6th share a document with you or tell you that there was a document of any kind? Don't worry about what the document was. Did I share a document with you that stated any plans of any sort?
All right. So you want the technical answer? Yes. The MOSD rules and regulations.
Okay. But there was no other document. I never sent you like a PDF or a Word file or.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Okay. Yeah. And let's go back to that a second. In there, there's within like the questionnaire, and I submitted that to all the members that were joining the Ministry of Self-Defense. Was there a portion there about like breaking laws or being
Absolutely.
arrested? Yeah. And can you kind of tell me what that stated?
I mean, it was a long time ago, but the basic premise of the document was I'm not going to get drunk and I'm not going to drink be under influence of any substances during the rallies. I'm not going to initiate fights or violence. No destruction of property. Basically, the document outlined how to keep yourself in line, and how to represent who we really were as the Proud Boys, not the out of hand shit that was going on then.
So when these raids were going on, right, where everybody was picked up, because by that time, Joe Biggs, Ethan Nordine, Zachary Real, Dominic Pizzola, and many other Proud Boys were being picked up for this. At any point, like in the beginning of this, did you think that your brothers would ever turn on you and lie about you throughout this case?
Are you specifically referring to you guys? Because
Yeah, us four, at least. So we'll start with that, because a lot of the other guys you didn't know.
At first, honestly, no. No, I didn't think so, because I didn't think that there was anything. I was like, well, what could they turn on me for? I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? We didn't do anything illegal. Then, of course, after multiple meetings with the FBI and that sort of thing, my trust began to become fractured. So you know what I mean? But no, it's honestly no. I didn't think anybody would
right.
turn on.
So let me zero in. Did you ever think that I would turn on you?
No.
Why not?
I know your character, man. I know who you are. I watched you, like I said earlier, man, stay in DC when I almost died, and I watched you help me through that really rough time in my life. And I just know you're a solid motherfucker, man. Honestly. Yeah, no, I don't think that would ever happened.
So you knew I would remain true and loyal.
Yeah. 100%.
You see me do that. You see me do that before.
Yes.
Is there anything? So okay, I'll leave it at that. After you got picked up, right?
Mm.
You decided to meet with the prosecutors and the FBI shortly after. Why?
I reached out. So after the raid, I was like, oh, what the fuck? They don't got nothing, and I was stressed out, because they were all. One of the things that happened that, my wife told me about was when they found her guns, how the two female FBI agents went hand in hand, skipping up the driveway and up the road to go hop in their car to go get the warrant for him or whatever. But I was like, oh shit, they're gonna try to pin those on me. Let me go get a lawyer, and what's that?
They pinned them on you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And so I went and spoke with my attorney. I got an attorney. Went and had a meeting with him, explained what was going on. He reached out to the FBI to find out, like, I guess it's just standard, like, hey, what we.
So in numerous portions of here, his phone goes off. I'm afraid to fast forward it. Sorry, guys. Be on standby first. Oh, there he goes. We don't have to be on
I don't know what happened there.
Sorry. Okay, so yeah, you were just telling me about the prosecutors and FBI, the meeting.
Yeah.
You're trying to.
So
you felt like, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Were you trying to clear something up?
Yeah, man. I was like, I talked to my attorney, and I was like, this is what happened. And he's like, well, you got nothing to worry about. Let's just go talk to him, because, yeah, you're obviously a target, but they're probably just fishing to try to find something. But you didn't do anything wrong. So let's go meet with them. Let's just go clear our name here. And I said, okay, let's do it.
So when you say meet with them, you met with the Department of Justice and the FBI, right? FBI.
Yeah, I didn't know who would be coming. I figured it would just be with the FBI agents. I didn't realize until the day before that when he told me that the prosecutors were flying down and they wanted to come talk to me.
Who were those that were present, if you remember, on that first initial meeting?
The FBI agent Catherine Bowles, Nicole Miller, and Eric.
Kennerson.
I can't remember. Huh?
Kennerson's his last name.
Kennerson. I can never remember his last name. Eric Kennerson. There was another like young looking FBI agent, pretty boy blonde hair dude. But I don't like. I only saw him once, and I don't recall his name. He was a special agent or investigator or something. I don't know.
Okay. What did you say in that first meeting?
Told the truth, man.
What's the truth?
No, we didn't plan anything. The MOSD was created to keep us safe, keep us from getting arrested, keep us from getting in trouble, keep us from, just to keep our group under control. Because when there's a large group of people, you get that mob mentality, and so many wild, just normies were storming off left and right on, December 12th. And it was designed, to keep us focused on our goal of protecting people and protecting free speech and getting our point across to, of how we felt about the election results. And that was it.
Okay, give me 1 second. Rob, you got to reset the space, correct? You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to let everybody know we have a live broadcast that we are showing right now. It is up in the nest. If you look at the top of the space, this is obviously directed to the space. You can watch this live, watch it with us live. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, request up. We'll bring you up. Raise your hand, keep your mic closed. When we're ready, we will definitely take questions and comments. And this interview it's tough for me to watch again because all I want to do is jump through the screen. And
how long does this reset take?
Like 10 seconds.
Okay.
And we're going to get back to this. So what you guys are hearing for all the new people in the space is an interview that Enrique did with Jeremy Bertino, detailing how the DOJ and the FBI coerced him into lying on the stand to put these guys away during January 6th for decades. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop if we see a hand up and somebody's got a question. We'll stop the live broadcast, and Enrique and I will come back on the screen and take your question and your comment. All right, we're going to get right back to this. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight.
Ready to go?
Good copy.
Hit mute on your mic. And here we go. Were you being honest?
100%.
Okay. Did you meet with them again?
Yeah.
Did you say anything different in this second? Do you remember when that second meeting was?
Second meeting was probably 3 or 4 weeks later. I don't remember specific dates. It was a few weeks later. And yeah, I cannot remember. I know I think it was the first meeting is when they presented me with a document that they said that you had.
Was that on the first meeting?
Yeah, I think that was on the first meeting.
What document was that?
1776 returns, the infamous unopened document.
Who presented that to you?
Nicole Miller. Nicole Miller did.
Special Agent Nicole Miller.
Either she presented it, I think she presented it to me. She put the paper in front of me, or somebody else did, but she was kind of taking the lead on presenting the document to me. Yeah.
The document. Okay. And what did you tell her? What did she actually, walk me through that little, so they present it to you, and who talks first? And how does that interaction go?
It might have been Kennerson sliding it over and saying, have you ever seen this? Or, has anybody sent you this? Or has Enrique sent you this? It was something like that. And I was like, no, I have no idea what this is. What is it? And I believe Nicole Miller steps in and says, well, this is a document that Enrique has. And I was like, Enrique had this? And, you know, my initial looking at the document, without, you know, being, you know, obviously I'm a little frazzled at that point. I didn't really get to read into it as much when I first reacted to it, but it didn't look great. And she said, what's that?
You asked her a question. I
said, Enrique, I think, I was like, where did he get this? And she said, well, he wrote it.
He wrote it.
Said, Enrique wrote this? And she was like, I think she said, yeah, he helped write it. He helped write it.
So I have the transcripts to your, it's called the 302, right?
Yeah.
And she asked you that you pretty much said what she says in the 302.
So my memory was good on it then, yeah. I think that's
so. There's something that's always missing from these 302s, and even if it's a transcript, it's missing. So how long did you look at that document for before you said, "Oh, this is crazy"? And was this on the first interview?
Are
you sure?
I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe it was the second one.
Yes, it was the second.
It was the second one. Okay. Again, this is years ago, and you know, some of my memory's going to be foggy on it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe it was the second one. It wasn't very long. I was just kind of like thumbing through it. Like I said, initially when I first looked at it, it looked like a well laid out plan to, you know, to take over buildings and all this stuff. And I was like, what is this? So it was kind of a quick reaction. I was like, no, I've never seen this before. Again, I didn't read through everything to really look at what the document was until much, much later. I never got to see truly what it was.
Okay. So it was on your second meeting that this happened.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate the correction. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Remembering from trial, people telling other witnesses, would you like me to refresh your recollection? Did you meet with him again? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back to the second meeting. What did you say? Did you say anything differently in this meeting that you remember? And I'm not going to go through the whole 302.
I can't remember, to be honest with you. I think the most I remember about that second meeting was them getting really frustrated with me and kind of ending it quick. The second meeting had Nick, Special Agent Nick. I can't remember his last name.
Lead FBI agent in our Seditious 5 investigation.
Yeah, I don't remember his whole name, but yeah, he was there for that, and he was getting frustrated with me because they weren't getting the answers out of me that they were looking for. Okay. I wasn't spinning the story the way they wanted, basically.
How long was the first meeting?
First meeting was well over an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
How long did the second meeting last?
Not very long, man. Maybe
again.
So I believe, again, I'm fuzzy on the. It was definitely a rough time in my life, and it was fuzzy.
Okay, we'll wait for him to rejoin.
Yeah, his camera went out again, guys. But again, this is a recorded interview, but we are live.
Okay.
I have no idea what's happening here. It just keeps kicking me out of the room.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll keep doing it. As long as you just keep jumping in as fast as you're doing it right now, we're fine, because then I won't have to do edits.
Too much edits.
That's why I didn't want to edit. I was like, damn, how long is the other one going to edit? I don't want to edit. Yeah. So, how many, so you met with them twice. How many more after that? How many more meetings did you have with them? And he's gone. Yeah. Is it a call? Is it somebody calling?
No.
I actually, give me 1 second. I have to get on a call myself. I just paused the pre-record. I'm gonna play through it, but I got to pick up this call.
I'm not getting any phone calls. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay. How many more meetings did you have with them?
I mean, a lot. But are you talking about initially for proffers for 302s?
Well, here's where I guess we'll go down these questions. I am going to ask these questions later about the exact times.
Yeah, his phone went out again. Oh, there we go.
I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea.
Is your phone hot?
No.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you have iPhones, because my Samsung has never overheated and stopped working. Just to let you guys know. We're going to get back to this now.
Do me a favor, take it off your Wi-Fi. You have good reception at home?
No, I got Spectrum Mobile.
Okay. And he's gone again. So I'm gonna probably have to clip it. Not gonna clip anything out of this, but we'll try again, and then I think I can pause recording.
Well,
no. Okay.
Is it back and good now?
It's back, but you go out at a moment's notice. So, give or take, how many times did you meet with them? Just a number from then till, let's go to February of 23.
10, 15, something like that.
15 times.
Maybe even more than that. I mean, probably at least, yeah.
Do you know that the amount of times that they told us that you met with them was 3? Wait,
really?
Breaking up a little bit. Okay.
Really? That they said 3 times?
3 times. And you met with them 15. Every meeting that they have with you is supposed to be recorded and given to us, whether it's transcripts or whether there's a stenographer or whether there's and we lost them. Okay.
Now I know it's not me.
So we had some technical difficulties with the phone. I think we're back. Hopefully we don't have any more problems. So how many times did you meet with them total? Just give me a ballpark.
15.
Do you know that they only told us that you met with them 3 times?
I'm surprised, but not surprised.
So do you also know that every meeting that you have with them, where either a stenographer or recording or transcripts are supposed to be provided after your arrest? There's 2 things. They can't lie to you. They could lie to you before your arrest, but they can't lie to you after, especially in that setting, because technically they're also under oath. And second, they're supposed to provide any information because, anything could happen in those meetings. Anything.
To you guys, right?
To us.
To the defense.
Yeah, because we're supposed to, by law, we're supposed to have all the information provided for our defense, including Brady. There might be something that you said there. So there might be something like, let's say you were to have the interview and you said something and we could use that to impeach you during your testimony, right? At that point, we didn't know. We thought that you only met with them 3 times. You say 15.
Wow.
So
you weren't offered an adequate defense either.
No. So on your 3rd meeting, though, you kind of change your tune a little bit. And I want to touch on that one because these are the known ones, and we'll get into the unknown ones in a second. Did you say anything different from your first interview to your second to your third? And then let's just go for those 3.
Yeah. The third one, it was very evident. I believe, I want to say it might have been in between. It was in between the second and third. That's when my attorney realized, like, hey, you're not answering the questions the way they want you to answer them. You are fighting back against them when they're asking you questions. You're not going along with the get along, basically, and that's what they're looking for. Or they're looking at, because I think your charges have been upgraded, and I think that they were communicating to my attorney, although I don't have access to that communication. I think they were communicating to him that they were looking at, if I did not cooperate, I'd be looking at the same type of thing, like 25 years in prison. And that was definitely brought to my attention, like, hey, you're going to prison for 25 years if you don't, start agreeing with them, because they're not playing games. I think you said something once where they were going to make us their fuck doll. Well,
yeah.
Trust me, that's about where it started for me.
Were you, because there's a big difference in here. In this third meeting, we'll jump to the third meeting. Were you forthcoming in that meeting?
Mm.
Okay, what was? I have this question later, so let's move forward. On October 6th of 2022, you went to court.
Mm.
What did you go to court for?
To accept the plea, to plead guilty, basically. I guess it was arraignment. I guess it would technically be arraignment, and then plea, entering the plea. I'm not too familiar with all the terminology because, like I said, I've never really been in the criminal justice system like that, so I'm not too sure as to what was happening, but I believe that was it.
Why did you plea out, and why was what you said in the first meeting with them different than what was in your statement of facts that you pled guilty to?
Because I was presented, here's what you're going to plead to. Here's what we're going to accept. Here's what you're going to plead to. And if you don't, here's what we're charging you with. And here's the mandatory sentences that comes with it. And we're going to put your ass away for 25 years.
Okay. Those other meetings that you had with them beyond the three, what was said to you? Like, wait, I'm just going to ask an open-ended question. What did those meetings consist of?
More questioning and more grooming. It's kind of weird because, like, when they people talk about grooming, like child sex offenders grooming people, like that's kind of what it felt like, where it was like, hey, you're gonna say this, and you know what I mean. There's certain things you're not gonna say, or these are the words that we're focusing on, as opposed to these other words, and they're gonna avoid asking these questions. And there was a lot of practice cross examinings. There was a lot of prep that went into it. I mean, it was a lot of stress, a lot of remembering stuff. They wanted me to go through all of the register of all the Telegram chats and all that stuff that I had. They were asking me questions about other people. Who's this guy and what's this guy saying here, and half the time I didn't know who was who. You know what I mean? Because you know how the Telegram chats were. No, you never really knew who you were talking to. There was a lot of that. Who is this guy? What, do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is?
When you say grooming, right? Did they train you in what to say? Did they coach you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, just a small sample size of it. It was we're not going to use the word plan. Plan is not the focus. We don't want to use the word plan. We want to use the word goal. What was the goal of the Proud Boys that day? And, they would take the smallest little thing. You know how they do, man. They take the smallest little thing and twist it into something different. And how they're going to present it this way. We're going to flip it on its head and present it this way so that it sounds a lot worse than it really is.
Jeremy, what was the most accurate testimony you gave out of all those meetings? What was like the bare truth that you were like, out of all those meetings, what was the one that was the one that you, what was the most truthful one?
The first one. I went in there wholeheartedly telling these people that, hey, listen, we didn't do anything. There was no plan. That shit happened organically. Like anybody with a brain knows that happened organically. There was no plan. There's absolutely. I went in and told the truth, and man, it wasn't good enough. It's not what they wanted to hear.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's move on. Let's fast forward to 2023. Did you have any knowledge that we were going to take this case to trial? Seditious 5?
I really personally knowing you guys, yeah, I knew you were gonna fucking fight it. But as far as knowledge of it from you talking about directly from them, did they tell me, hey, this is going to trial?
No. Oh, did they tell you that actually?
Well, they were preparing me for trial, and I mean, I'm sure that at some point, I don't know that they started really prepping me really hard until I remember they were going through jury selection, and I remember the prosecutors being exhausted and being really tired and going through all this shit with me. And yeah, I mean, I knew you guys were taking it to trial.
Why do you believe we were taking it to trial?
Because you were fucking innocent. Point blank, man. We were all fucking innocent. Hopefully you can still use that with me cussing in there, but yeah, we were. I mean, I want to put my point out there. We were fucking innocent. We didn't do what the fuck they accused us of doing. Period. And I knew, at that point, you guys were all in lockup, and knowing you guys and your belief system, and yeah, man, I knew it, and rightfully fucking so, that you took it to trial.
The government said, the government introduced who they called their star witness. They referred to their star witness multiple times. Who was that?
Who referred to me as a star witness?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you kind of answered the question there, but who was...
Oh, me. Oh, who was referred to as a star witness?
Yes.
I guess it was me, yeah. I mean, they never used that term with me, but I was getting, I had no idea who their other witnesses were or anything like that. They didn't really give me any of that information. So I didn't realize at the time what a big deal that they were making out of me until like right before trial.
How did you feel walking into the courtroom and seeing your brothers for the first time in 2 years?
Heartbroken, man. I'm fucking heartbroken for y'all. I'm heartbroken, because, the guilt was like, I don't know if you know that. I mean, I was in the room right before we went on. Pretty sure I started to have a mild heart attack, where my attorney almost had to be like, hey, I don't know if he can go out right now. It was bad. The guilt, the anxiety over knowing what I had to do, fucking it ate me up for years, but that was extremely tough to walk in there and see you guys. I wanted to walk over and hug you guys and fucking throw the double fingers at the prosecutors and tell them, go fuck yourselves. That's what I really wanted to do.
You know, I'm going to go off my questions for a second. I'm going to tell you what I thought. I'm going to go a little off script here. So we were in the catacombs, you know, throughout our trial every day, getting pretty much chained up, fucking driving 45 minutes in DC traffic in a bus. You know, everybody, the four guys were like, oh, blah, 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 this guy's a piece of shit or whatever. And I'm like, watch. He's going to go on there and he's going to troll them and he's going to fucking say some fucking shit, right? And he didn't do it or whatever.
Looking back, I wish I would have, brother. I wish I would have, honestly.
What was your testimony on the stand?
Whatever the fuck they told me it was. Full out, groomed, prepped, coached. They did tell me you can't make things up. And, you know, if you can't go and say, oh, Enrique called me separately and said, hey, we're going to storm the Capitol. You know what I mean? If that didn't happen. But we are going, we're going to, yeah.
That's from the grooming sessions, correct?
Yeah. But other than that is we are going, you know, basically they were going to take every joke, every smart ass comment, which is covered by free speech, mind you. They're going to take every fucking thing they could and twist it and twist it and twist it until it became proof of a fucking crime. They connected dots that you couldn't fucking connect if you were Elon Musk. But they somehow did it and convinced this jury that was it.
Question that's not on my list. During the trial, did you have any conversations with the DOJ and the FBI? Specifically, answer that question generally, but also specifically, when you were on the stand, were there any moments that you had conversations with them? Because you were on the stand for about a week and a half, give or take.
Yeah. What do you mean, like meet with them?
Yes.
Like after court?
Yeah, after court.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I don't think I was allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to err on the side of caution and say no, I didn't, but I don't remember.
Did your attorney have any conversation with them?
That I don't know, be honest with you. I wish I had the answer, but I don't know. He may have, but I can't remember. To be honest with you, it was probably the worst week and a half of my fucking life, so I've tried to black out as much of it as I can.
Why did what you say on the stand differ from what you said in the first couple of interviews, including the second and the third one?
Because that's the way that it all had to be presented. I mean, they basically hung this seditious conspiracy over my head over my head for 25 years. Whatever it was, 20, 25 years of, you know, most of the rest of my natural life in prison if I strayed or if I didn't tell them, you know, basically help lead this story in the right direction. You know, that was the narrative. That was the, you know, the people who really had a plan and really had a fucking goal were them. And that was to make the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers the scapegoats and the planners and the fucking evil right-wing conspiracy theorists and militias that they wanted us to be. So that was the plan and the goal.
So there was a recurring phrase that was mentioned in the trial over and over and over again, whether it was in the opening statements, during your testimony, it came up multiple times, and during the testimony of others, it came up multiple times. And when I say others, I mean like the FBI agents and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, were we the tip of the spear?
You mean for the invasion of the Capitol, the insurrection?
Yes.
No, no, no. The tip of the spear is we were reading. Anytime we used that phrase, it was with the tip of the spear to lead the people into the right direction and make the changes in the world that needed to be made. It was never about the tip of the spear for that assault on the Capitol. No.
I'm going to break in here for a second, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob, your host. Thank you for joining a special edition of Critical Mass and the NBLE podcast tonight. I just got to let everybody know, because when I hear Jeremy talking about this and when Enrique said the tip of the spear, the Proud Boys have a hard time finding the tips of their own dicks, let alone being the tip of a spear in an insurrection. It is the funniest thing to me that anybody could even possibly think for 1 second that any of us could plan an insurrection. I just find it humorous. I mean, obviously most people have heard, all the horror stories like MSM talking about what the Proud Boys are and what the Proud Boys do. The Proud Boys are a bunch of retards that get drunk and love America. I mean, I don't understand where this shit comes from, but yeah, I had to say that. And also, we don't have a sponsor yet, guys, and this is the shilling moment, I guess you could say, but we do have a shop. It's called the 1776.shop, where each one of us on the More Boys Network actually have gear. My t-shirts are live. Enrique's, 1776 clothing line is there. The American Rise. It helps support the studio. We don't have subscriptions. We don't do this for money. Go in there and buying merch. You guys get something you can, physically touch. It's tangible, and it actually helps support the studio, and we appreciate that. So if you're interested in some killer gear, 1776.shop. And we do appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody that's watching tonight. So thank you very much. You want to say anything? Or we'll get back to this.
Just repost. If you're watching right now, just hit that retweet button and quote tweet it if you could. Thank you.
All right. And those that are watching live, just to let you know, we do have a...
Go ahead.
We do have a space going. It's an X space. If you have any questions for Enrique or myself about what we're watching tonight, please join in. Request up. We'll bring you up. Raise your hand. Keep your mic closed, and when we're ready, we will call on you for your comment or your question.
Also, we do have, at least in this situation, we do have some news that came about. I got off the phone. I didn't pause this podcast, but I got a call, and I guess I'll tell you guys what that update is in a second. Oh, after the podcast. Thank you, guys.
Fuck no.
So I'm going to close out this section with a couple questions. How good did you feel leaving that courthouse in February on your last day of testimony?
You want to know the honest truth, man?
Yeah.
I felt like when I got back to the hotel room that night, I was close to hanging myself.
Were you elated?
Elated?
Yeah, were you happy?
Happy? No. Yeah. No, I felt like the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Were you satisfied?
Satisfied?
Yes.
No.
Were you relieved?
Was I relieved that it was over and that I didn't have to be on that stand anymore? Yeah, you could say that. But relieved about what I had done? No.
Did you feel loyal?
Not in the fucking least.
Okay. So, I created, I'm not going to bring it up on screen. I'm going to ask you just like questions because I actually made a spreadsheet, right? And it's in 4 different categories. And we're going to start with the Ministry of Self-Defense. and I'm going to go through multiple instances of the Ministry of Self-Defense. Actually, four. I'm going to do 4 questions on each subject, right? First interview on March 18th of 2022. You denied specific January 6 plans for Ministry of Self-Defense. You claimed that the Ministry of Self-Defense was for self-defense. Post-stabbing, no violence, no knowledge of any plan to storm the Capitol, just rallies. Is that correct?
Correct.
Today.
Yeah. It's correct. Today, tomorrow, then, forever. It's correct. Yeah.
On your second interview on June 9th, you admitted that the Ministry of Self-Defense evolved, but still no direct plans. Tario leader, but hazy on the video chat. Is that correct?
I was hazy on the like, what do you mean? Like, I couldn't remember everything?
You couldn't remember the video chat.
I could remember the video chat, but I didn't remember.
But these were like statements from you. So like, I'm just saying, were you hazy on the video chat on your second interview on June 9th?
If they may have asked me a specific question, it's hard for me to remember back then. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember.
So your third interview happened on June 22nd.
Okay.
Described, quote, cumulative conversations implying intent, desperation to stop Biden. We influenced history. Right? Was that accurate?
I guess if it's in the record, I mean.
Well, one thing is, I'm not asking you if it's in the record.
Are you paraphrasing kind of the tone around?
I'm saying, is it accurate? Is it true? Are these things true?
Oh, are they actually true in real life? That what it was? No.
I'm not asking you if like you said this. I'm asking if it's true.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm clear now. Yeah, no.
In your trial testimony in February of 2023, you testified that Ministry of Self-Defense was for all-out revolution. Proud Boys were the tip of the spear to oppose the certification by force. The group viewed as desperate for revolution. Is your testimony there accurate?
No.
Was Ministry of Self-Defense made for all-out revolution?
No. Ministry of Self-Defense was made for what it says it is. It's self-defense.
Now, and I'm just quoting your testimony. So just like right now, knowing what you knew before, regardless, were the Proud Boys the tip of the spear to oppose the certification by force, and was the group viewed as desperate for revolution? Is that statement accurate?
No. What they did there was they picked out small little phrases that were said in the chats. Remember, I told you they took everything and twisted it.
Yeah, but you use these words.
Yes. So this was stuff that they would like say, "Hey, this seems desperate for a revolution, right?" That's what this seems like, right? Because if you read this person seems desperate for a revolution. You know, that was sort of that was part of the coaching.
Okay. So the second section is called January 6th Mindset and Involvement. So these are also quotes from you. This was on your first interview, the very first time, March 18th. That you watch remotely and you message, we did it, but really what you meant was Proud Boys in general, completely justified initially, but no. Meaning, like you're telling them, no, we didn't do it, and we had no involvement. Yes, I said these words. Was that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I think I think I know exactly what they were referring to there, and that was probably when you and I were texting during the event, and they went through our text messages and picked out things, and they kind of honed in on that, and I was like, no, that's not what we're saying. I'm not saying that we planned or caused this. I'm saying that we gave people a voice and gave them confidence and strength in themselves, knowing that we were there and they could speak their mind without fear of anybody coming and assaulting them.
Now, in that first section, I just in this section, like you flip from on March 18th, 2022, from no plans to your trial testimony almost a year later, 11 months later, to revolution. Right. So that's two big differences. That's not a question. I'm just commenting.
Yep.
So going back to the January 6th mindset and involvement, on your second interview on June 9th, you said something different here. You admitted to encouraging the storming of the Capitol. We made this happen. You said that to me. So you admitted that the Proud Boys encouraged the storming of the Capitol. There's a big difference from what you said on the first interview to the second, right? Because in the first one, you're saying, hey, look, we had nothing to do with it. On this one, you're saying that you admitted to him that we were encouraging it.
I don't know if I'd have to know the context and what it was said to try and remember all the way back there. But I think maybe that's when they showed me my video that I had, the bubble chat video where I was like, hell yeah, let's do it, boys, or something like that. And maybe that is what they're referring to, me encouraging. I can't, like I said, I can't pick out specific context to any of, was said in that interview.
Well, we're just going to go with like
the overall tenor of it.
The overall tenor of it. There's a big difference. What I'm showing here is the difference between the 3 times that we knew about your testimony and obviously the testimony. So there's a big difference here
between what was in trial.
Yeah. So then on the third one, you said revolutionary. These weren't technically your words, but these were the words. It said revolution and desperation, and these were your words. Another American revolution failed. PB, tip of the spear. Is that accurate? Is that inaccurate?
No. Like that we were that the Proud Boys were the tip of the spear?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So on the next one in your trial testimony, you turned the volume up to 10. And you said, quote, all out revolution to stop Biden, inferred goal from cumulative talks.
Oh, yeah, in the chats. Oh, yeah. That was all part of the coaching.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was all part of the coaching.
Your shift goes from justified spectator to revolutionary participant. So let's move on to relationship with the Proud Boys, brothers. In your first interview, in March 18th, you called Proud Boys brothers. Felt Tario was my brother, always by my side. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, 100%.
Was that an accurate? I guess I'll say, was that an accurate statement?
100%.
Okay. Your interview on June 9th referenced loyalty but distant. Post stabbing, change views on police, but brother, they're still my brothers. Was that accurate?
Yeah.
On your interview on June 22nd, admitted interactions and you informed how to move forward. Conversations with folks come away understanding approach, meaning you understood that there was a goal in mind to overthrow the U.S. government or to stop the certification of election.
Certification, yes.
Yeah, is that commentary accurate?
So you got to take me back to that mindset back then. Mindset was a little different.
No. I get your mindset, but I'm just saying, looking at it now, is it accurate?
No, I don't think that
that if we had that we had an understanding of a goal to overthrow the government.
No, we did not have an understanding of the goal to overthrow the government. And if you would like, I can delve into exactly how that came about too. So what they did basically in the coaching sessions was, they would clip, you know how they did in trial, man. They would take everything out of context, just like the media does, just like everybody does. They take statements out of context, paste them together, and then basically lay it out to you and say, here's what was said. Does that not look like this now? And so they're good at it. Let me just tell you, those motherfuckers are good at it. They're very well trained on how to take your mind at one point where you're thinking this, and they're gonna clip all these things together and go, look at this now. We're gonna take all the other conversations out here and look at this. Does this not look like people who are desperate for revolution? Does this not look like people who want to stop the certification? And yeah, at that point, yeah, it looked like it to me. But in reality, it was not. In reality, what they did was they played mind games and fucked with you until you got to the point where you would go along with their narrative.
Okay. All right, let's move forward. This section's called Pressure to Cooperate. So on the first one, you were voluntary, and you understood the proffer, and you're not trying to lie to them. Is that inaccurate? Looking back,
Yeah.
is that accurate?
For the first one, yeah.
Post reverse proffer. If anything changed from the last time, that's fine. Just get the truth. Is that accurate?
That was so. Say again. What do you mean by that?
Did anything change from last time? And you said no. Is that
from the first to the second?
From the first to the second.
Yeah, that's accurate. Nothing should have changed.
Okay, so we're moving on to June 22nd. You had a focused mindset. Not asking you to say what's in anyone's mind, just interactions. They asked you that. They asked you about your interactions, right? And in your interactions, you're basically saying, well, maybe there was a plan. Like you're turning a little bit. So did they do that to you on June 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's accurate that they threatened you with decades. Did they ever threaten like your significant other or family members?
Yeah, I believe that they were pushing a straw purchase charge on her. And that was pretty scary too, because they were going at, I don't know that they ever brought that directly to me, but they might have brought it to my attorney, and it was definitely mentioned to me by my attorney.
So let's hit the rewind button and let's just cover most of the things that we covered, and I have some questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this again. What was the most accurate testimony you gave throughout that time?
My first proffer.
Your first proffer. Now, there's a big difference, and there's a big difference between your first proffer and like what was said on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
Were you forthcoming
on the stand?
Yeah.
No, I twisted the story they wanted the way they wanted it twisted.
Okay.
Yeah. Knowing that if I didn't, I was looking at decades in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Pretty fucked up to do to people.
Yeah. So if you were to grab a thesaurus right now, the word forthcoming, what words would you find?
Honest, truthful.
No. Words that are similar to forthcoming, not opposite.
No, so if you're saying if I was being forthcoming, if I was telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Telling the truth, being honest.
Okay.
Being forthcoming with something means basically you're being honest.
Yeah.
And telling the truth.
Okay. Just direct question. Were you coerced or coached or both?
Both, yeah. Forced, threatened, yeah. All of them.
Tell me a little bit about your interactions with Nicole Miller and Jocelyn. Did you ever have interactions with Jocelyn Ballantyne?
I can't remember direct. There was never really a direct conversation. I only met Jocelyn Ballantyne once when they flew me to DC and brought me to the prosecutor's office to meet everybody. Because they all needed to get a look at me, I guess, and see how I reacted to questioning, and they practiced cross-examine me and that sort of stuff in there.
So, but did you interact with her in those conversations?
Directly, I think she was just kind of an onlooker at that point. I don't know that she asked me any questions. I can't remember. I don't know. Yeah, but she was definitely in the room during that meeting.
Okay, so tell me just general sense, Nicole Miller throughout the case.
Her demeanor towards me was friendly, but at the same time, I'm looking to stick you in a hole for the rest of your life.
Are you aware of Nicole after the fact, after trial, because you weren't allowed to look at the news and stuff like that through your trial, right? So are you aware what Nicole Miller's thoughts on you were? Because her private conversations were obviously like public.
You mean, was I aware of it during the trial?
Not during, just now, sitting there right now. Do you have you seen the conversations of her between her FBI buddies when in reference to you?
I got some secondhand information about what was said, but I never really got to read directly what it was. I know she said she was acting like she was pissed that she wanted me in prison, and this guy should be in prison. Yeah, why are we leaving him out here? Something like that.
Okay,
that's something to the effect. That's the secondhand information I got about it. I never read it directly.
During trial, when you were, because I believe that this is you know what? I'm not even going to pretense it with that. So during the trial, when they asked you about the 1776 returns document, were you made aware that Nicole Miller lied to you about me creating the document?
No.
Were you made aware at any point that I gave that document to anybody else?
No.
Sitting there today, and obviously, I don't know how much you digested of the trial after. Do you
Not
know
much.
Do you know what the forensics expert and Nicole Miller herself said about the document, about me opening or transmitting the document to others are?
No, but I'd be interested to hear.
Okay. Speaking of Jocelyn Ballantyne and Nicole Miller, are you aware who their current employers are?
I think they're still employed by the DOJ, bro.
Why do you think that they're still employed by the DOJ and the FBI?
I have no clue. I don't know. I thought they cleaned house because I know there was a bunch of firings, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know. Was Jocelyn? She was like the head of the Capital Division or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if usually when you're looking at corporate structure, if you're looking at a portion of your company that is not performing or doing its job well or doing its job right or helping the company, you're gonna usually the head of that department would usually take the brunt of it. So I don't know.
She's the CEO. When we're talking about companies, she's the CEO
of the capital
of our collective suffering. She's the CEO of political persecutions, and she's still employed by the DOJ, and Nicole Miller is still employed by the FBI. So, looking at, she lied to you. Nicole Miller lied to you. I didn't create the document. I didn't even view the document. I didn't open the document. I didn't share the document. I didn't edit the document.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you feel like they lied to you to change your testimony?
100%. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the oldest play in the book, man. You try to turn, people against each other, make you seem not trustworthy to me, make you seem like you set me up. Yeah, it's the oldest play in the book, man.
I know you're not a lawyer, but do you think that's legal?
Man, look, if I can be, if I lie to a cop, if I go out to, if I get pulled over and I give the cop a different name, and I lie to him, I could be charged with that. So, I believe that nothing, the whole Democrat thing is nobody's above the law. Why should that be legal to lie to somebody who you're interrogating? Because I thought we're going after the truth. Isn't that what what law enforcement is? And isn't that what court system is about, is going after the truth? I mean,
You watch, I mean, you've watched growing up, you've watched a lot of like court TV, and you took civics in in school. Was this what you thought that your justice system would be?
not at all, man. It's definitely not designed to expose truth or to put those who rightfully belong behind bars. No, it's designed. It's designed so that you lose. A simple regular man cannot fight against basically one of the most, pretty much the biggest corporation in the world. Because that's exactly what it is. And I my hat's off to you guys for doing it, because it took. I don't even know how you guys walk around with the fucking nuts you must have between your legs to fucking take on that government the way you did, man. But those are some giant fucking balls.
So, I'm going to be in my last section here, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and they are difficult. So, sitting here today, do you know if they pressured me to testify? Like, just, you've heard me. I'm sure you've probably heard me say it, or you've caught up on the news. But do you know if they pressured me to testify against somebody?
Yeah, from what I saw, what was released, I think from your camp had released, I think it was after trial, that they pressured you to testify against Trump, wasn't it?
Yeah. So,
told you you'd walk if you just said that Trump told you to do it, basically.
yeah. So, given what they pressured you with, what do you think they pressured me with?
A lot, man. I'm sure.
If they were going to give you 20 years, how much time do you think that they were telling me that they were going to give me?
I haven't a clue, man. I haven't a clue, but I'm sure it's a large number.
Did you were you aware of my sentencing the day that I went into sentencing?
Yeah, man.
Do you know what the government was asking for?
33 years. 33 fucking years.
Did I turn on the president?
Nope.
Do you even think that I had anything on the president?
No. What the fuck could you have had on him?
Jeremy, I asked you earlier, what are the attributes of love are? Was I loyal to the president?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You're loyal to a lot more than just the president, man.
Would you do, and this isn't on my list, would you do 22 years for your country?
Looking back, changing it up, man. I mean, yeah, I guess I'd have to. Because I'd never want to do again what I had to do there. But you were prepared to, so.
Yeah. So, before we close out, this is my last question, and then we're just going to talk about, like, just a couple things. What do you say to Joe Biggs, Dominic Pizzola, Zachary Real, and Ethan Nordine when your first honest words about them were the complete honest truth and proved to be no conspiracy to overthrow the United States government?
I guess I'd say, boys, there's no way that I could ever atone for what I did. It sucked having to do it, and you guys didn't deserve anything that the government did to you. And that,
Wait. There we go. Sorry.
and, I just feel like, again, I'm proud of them for standing up the way they did. I know it's difficult what they went through, and it changed them forever. And again, there's no way, I don't ever expect any of you guys to really truly accept an apology from me, but I am sorry truly for having to be part of that. I never wanted to. Folding under pressure was something I never thought I would do, man. I took pride in who I was and what I believed in, man, and I valued my family, I valued my freedom over the truth. And again, that's something that, I'll never be able to undo. I only hope that someday, down the road, maybe they can understand a little bit where I was coming from and forgive me.
You've always known me to be a very logical person.
Mm-hmm.
And a person that removes emotion out of decisions.
Yeah.
And you actually said this in one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the world's gonna take this. I don't know how the guys are gonna take it. They're free to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
You reached out to me about 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
On your own accord.
Yep.
I didn't ask you to come in.
Never.
I wanted nothing to do with you at that point. Actually, as soon as you messaged me, I was like,
rightfully so.
So I'm not saying at no point, let me not go with that. You said the word atonement, and I don't know how much atonement is needed, but you came forward. You're like, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You were, you allowed a private investigator to ask you questions.
Mm-hmm.
You knew the risks that you were taking by doing that. You, I don't know what atonement looks like, but taking my emotion out of it and taking my feelings out of it, I mean, this is a good start. The guys need to be exonerated.
100%.
Joe Biggs, is a decorated war hero with 2 Purple Hearts. You got 2 other knuckleheaded Marines in that group, and you have Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
And they deserve to get their entire life back for what happened to them. So if anything good comes from this is, hopefully, the administration and the Department of Justice listen to this and they read it and they take action on it, because it's not just watch it, right? I'm pretty sure that they're in tune with what the media says. And hopefully this is the beginning of them being able to put their life together. So I'm gonna give you the last word here, and I'm gonna let you say whatever you want to say.
I covered a lot of it because, listen, I'm used to getting hated. I have been hated ever since.
Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. Okay.
I've been hated since as long as I can remember, since I became a Trump supporter or, had my own opinions and my own views. I've always been hated. Most of the time, it was hated by the people who had the opposite views to me. And, for a long time, I've carried this on my heart, knowing that, I'm probably hated on both sides now. And it's never what I wanted. The full weight and pressure of the federal government threatening to take you away from your family, which you guys, only a few of us have ever been in that situation. So, only a few of us can really say how we would react, and there's going to be people that are like, oh, I would have stood up and I would have done this. And those people would have folded like paper mache. I fought as valiantly as I could. I guess to me at the time was what it felt like. I was a small business owner who had zero money, who was scraping by to try and make it every month to provide for myself and my family. There's no way that a common man like me could afford a decent defense, man. I went to multiple defense attorneys who all told me, hey, man, I'll take the case, $2 million, but you're still going down. This is the federal government, 98% conviction rate. They're taking you down one way or another. It doesn't matter what you spend on your defense. They're taking you down, and how could you outspend a government that has an unlimited budget to prosecute your ass? And it's a lot, man. It's a lot of pressure. And I hate that I didn't take the path that you guys did. But in reality, to those people that, on either side, they're going to have something to say about my truth here. None of it matters. The only people that it matters to are you and the guys that were sitting in that courtroom fighting for the rest of their lives.
So I think he goes out here almost for the last time, but I'll wait for a second. And by the way, this audio is not part of the pre-recording.
And so,
yeah, we'll just keep it here for a second because I believe that's the end. We'll try this time. If not, I'll close out the show. I'm going to pause it if he doesn't come back, and then I got a few words to say, and then we'll go into the spaces. All right. I haven't watched it after. Close this out. Okay. Actually, let me see what I say on the closeout. I thank you guys for watching this. Again, it was very difficult for me to do this. It was very difficult for me to remain without emotion and ask the questions as best as I could. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it brings some peace to some people's hearts. And I hope that through this, the administration sees it. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Okay, so I'm not going to play that portion. Give me a second to set up. Okay. So what I did with this interview is, I broke down the 3 interviews he had with the FBI and then the 4th testimony on the stand. And I noticed something. I didn't notice it now. I noticed it back then. Obviously, I already knew the story. We're giving you guys the story because a lot of people didn't know this, and you're hearing it from a person that was a star witness. And this doesn't only affect our case. It affects all the J6 cases, not for what he said, but the methods that they used to coerce him, lie to him, encourage him to change his words, which was a big deal here. The use of the word, a lot of people don't see how big that is. The changing of the word like plan to goal that he admits doesn't allow our attorneys to ask the right questions. So on that stand, we didn't have Jeremy Bertino. On that stand, we had a robot, right, that was programmed by the prosecution, by the government, by the FBI through coercion and lies. So when our attorneys cross-examined Jeremy Bertino, we weren't cross-examining Bertino as he would be on January 7th, right? The day after January 6th, which is the most honest testimony because obviously he remembers stuff and obviously he knows exactly what happened, what led up to that, and he wasn't coached into it. As I said, when you testify, right, when you're charged with a crime, you're allotted to get every piece of evidence. So if the FBI and the DOJ have a secret meeting with their star witness, or any witness for that matter, if Jeremy were to say something that would absolve us of the crime during those meetings, we wouldn't know about it. And we actually didn't find out until now recently that he had multiple meetings with the FBI and the DOJ that weren't said to us. When you have those meetings, either they have to be recorded or a stenographer has to be present to give us transcripts of those conversations. If there's a text message between Jeremy and the DOJ or Jeremy and his attorney, those transcripts and those messages needed to be relayed to us so we could decipher where there's a mistake and where there's an inconsistency, right? When you go on the stand, one of the things that you're trying to do is impeach the government's witness on the stand to show that he's lying. So how could I not know if I don't have all the information? So Jeremy wasn't Jeremy on the stand. It was a stand-in for a government that hated us and persecuted us, right? And some of those people still work for these government agencies, specifically at the Department of Justice and at the FBI, right? They're still employed by them. In recent news last week on Tuesday, the government filed a motion to dismiss. Some of these prosecutors were fired. The head prosecutor in our case, Jason McCullough, was fired, and he was fired for misconduct. How could the government have it both ways, where you fire somebody for misconduct, but then when you get sued over it, you say, well, the person that we fired for misconduct didn't actually commit misconduct, right? So somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Either you get sued by us and you say the truth, or you get sued for wrongful termination by those prosecutors that were fired. While I don't know if you guys noticed this, but to the people that were listening throughout the whole thing, I had to stop for a second because I had to get on the phone and I got a phone call. So there's I'm not going to say where the phone call came from, but because of this interview that with Jeremy, another one of their lead witnesses has come forward to recant their testimony. I'm not going to say who. We're going to let the motion speak for itself. But another witness came forward and has said they did the same thing to me. And consistently through these cases, through these January 6 cases, I guarantee you're going to find it in every case that went to trial, or even the cases that pled out, right? Where somebody said something because they were coerced or coached or told to say certain things. So I'm happy now that this interview with Jeremy has aired because we found another one. And to the people watching this that had something to do with this, whether you were a government witness or you were, or you actually work for the government, you know, to the prosecutors that were fired or the prosecutors that are currently there, you want to, if you want to absolve yourself of this burden of persecuting innocent American citizens for some of the most heinous crimes ever levied against an American citizen, come forward. Jason McCullough, come forward. Connor Morrow, which is still employed by the DOJ, come forward. FBI agent Nicole Miller, come forward. Be honest. Say that you lied and say that you coerced your witnesses and start that path to atonement so you could bring, you could restore confidence in our government institutions that have been, that ran rampant for 4 years of Biden and ran rampant for 8 years of Obama. Come forward and say the truth. I will drop my lawsuit against Nicole Miller right now. Right now, if she comes forward and says the truth. Because she's not gonna get past this dismissal. Because the second person that wants to recant also has something to do with Nicole Miller. It's stacking up. The truth is coming out. And we're going to force it out legally. So it's better if you come forward right now. I'm telling you right now, I will drop my lawsuit against Special Agent Nicole Miller if she comes forward. I won't take your possessions. I won't take your money. Just come forward and say the truth. Again, I state how difficult it is for me, how difficult it was for me to do this interview with Jeremy. And I actually got a message from somebody that said I didn't go aggro enough. And I understand that. You know, my old lady was the one that messaged me and told me, hey, you know, you didn't go aggressive enough. And it might be true. I might have not, but I needed to get the truth out, and being aggressive wasn't going to get that to that point. I truly thought that I needed to be as neutral as possible, asking the questions. I broke down the questions. I asked him in the beginning. I based it completely on his testimonies, on his FBI 302s. If you don't know what 302s are, these are transcripts of his interviews with the FBI. So I based it all on that. I also asked personal questions. You got up on the stand. You said, you love us. Well, what is that love? Loyalty. And during that time, he didn't display any of that. And I go back to the atonement. Does this begin to atone for it? I don't know. But I know that the truth needs to be set free. Joe Biggs needs to be exonerated. Zachary Real needs to be exonerated. Dominic Pizzola, Ethan needed to be exonerated. The rest of the J6ers need to be exonerated. As a matter of fact, if we don't go through this court process, I'm asking the president, we need 1,600 pardons of innocence. Pardons of innocence is a step above that. It's a pardon that says, no, you know what? This person was innocent. It absolves us of everything. And that's the only remedy that there is here. There's a lot of people that want to move forward, but they don't know how to. I suggest that you guys, J6ers, I'm speaking to J6ers and their families, move forward with a lawsuit or a tort claim. Find an attorney that's willing to fight for you, and it needs to happen now. You can't wait anymore. There's a statute of limitations, right? Some states it's 3 years, some states it's 4. In Maine, it's 6. In Missouri, it's 6. You know, and we're getting to that deadline. These things take time to resolve. We need to hit it from all fronts. the tort claims, the legal claims, the social pressure, the press conferences, everything, the shows, whatever you can do, we need to hit this from multiple angles, because it is in 2021, on January 20, 2021, it was the United States of America versus the American citizens. That was the actual, that should be the name of the Biden administration, because that's what it was. It was legal warfare. It was lawfare. You know, we saw it happen to Alex Jones on the civil front. You saw it happen to us on the civil front too. You see that they're trying to hold me in contempt of civil court for trying. They asking me if I wanted to rat out my boys, to point at them. Fuck you. I got 22 years and I could have done that before. What do you think that you could threaten me with? Absolutely fucking nothing. It's not going to happen. So it needs to be the American people versus the Biden regime. We're not suing the Trump administration. We're suing the DOJ for acts that they committed. The DOJ is still majority ran by people that Trump did not put in. You got people like Jocelyn Ballantyne that still work. She was the head of the Capitol Siege Division for the Department of Justice, appointed by Obama. This needs to end. And the only people we keep saying, oh, we're waiting for Trump to do something. Don't wait for Trump to do anything. Do it yourself. Fight back. It's not just on him, it's on us. Go ahead, Rob.
So I'm going to be as measured as I can be in this. I know it's riding on it, but you know, it's maybe because I'm from a different era where when you called somebody brother, that meant something, and it meant something real. Nowadays, people just use brother and throw it around, and it doesn't have much weight behind it. I know what it is to sacrifice for my brothers. You know what it is to sacrifice for your brothers, even to our detriment. And this doesn't absolve him. I mean, you heard it clearly. We all heard it clearly at the end of the interview. He's desperately trying to get back in the good graces. And, you know, it's easy for me to say, I know exactly what I would have done in that situation. I actually had to have a very hard conversation with my son because I was on the list next. Now that they had gotten everybody that they wanted for in January 6th, they were coming after people that were there on December 12th. And I would have never taken a plea deal. So, do I believe that there is a part of him that regrets it? Yeah. But do I believe it's for the right reasons? No. I think him being out alone, he said it, man. He's got hate from both sides now. He's got no home anywhere. He's alone. And so we should be. I have no respect for anybody that rats. And I sure as shit don't have any respect for anybody. We'll never have respect for anybody that rats, and I sure as shit won't have any respect for anybody that lies to save their own ass. I'm just not going to do it. But the only... I don't know. I'd say the only caveat to all of this is, and it's not an excuse, and I can see why some weaker men would cave. In his case, if he got convicted of the gun charge, he'd still be in prison. He would have never gotten a pardon. Now, would that change what I did? No. No, if I was faced with the same thing, for me, it wouldn't. This is hard, bro. Because as much fun as we had December 12th, the end of that night was probably in the top 5 worst experiences of my life. I saw 2 of my brothers, well, at that time, get stabbed right in front of me. One of them, Jeremy, I was literally in a sandwich with the guy that was stabbing him. That ain't shit you're ever going to forget. I remember the cops surrounding me and trying to pull my plate carrier off because they swore up and down that I got stabbed and I was in shock and I wasn't feeling it. He caused so much pain and destruction. To serve his own purpose. There is no forgiveness for this. There is no coming back. There's no angle that he can try. But I do believe in healing. And the best way for all of us to heal would be him taking the stand and saying what he said on this interview in public, to the government, to the lawyers, and on the record. Not that this interview isn't on the record, but you know what I mean. Because right now, that's all that really matters. Joe getting his VA benefits back. Everybody having their Second Amendment rights restored to them when this was never designed by our forefathers to have our Second Amendment rights taken away from us. All of the other 1,600 people getting full pardons. And I agree with you, dude. I think it's extremely honorable. You know, I'm somebody that believes very strongly in taking the L and not doubling down on bullshit. I don't double down on lies. I don't double down when I'm wrong. I mean, I teach my son every day, dude, listen, man, you ain't perfect. This I say to him all the time. Just admit when you did something fucking wrong. Own it. Like a man, because that's what a man does. Learn from it and be better. I would have much more respect for our government. I would actually gain some respect because I have no respect at all. And that's been for many, many years. But I would gain some respect, at least for this administration that's running the government currently, if they just said, you know what? Biden's DOJ fucked up. You guys should have never been prosecuted. Here's your lies back. That would be enough for me. But as we see, the government doubles down on stupid. And they double down on their lies constantly. The fact that Bondi is even trying to float out there to all the news outlets that the government was justified in doing what they did when Trump said the exact opposite. Because if the government under Biden was truly in the right in what they did, you guys would have never gotten released. You would have never gotten pardons. So there's a conflict there. And the only person that can tell Bondi to pull her head out of her ass is Trump. And Trump needs to make this happen. He really does. I know we did have hands in the space. I don't know if there's still hands going on right now, but so Adam, if you are on X, oh, there you are. You're back somewhat. Adam, if you are on X, if you go to my profile at the Rob 1772, you'll see that there is on my profile an X space. If you want to come in and talk to us, talk to Enrique, go into the space, hit the little microphone button at the bottom, and we'll bring you up. I don't know, dude. Listen, I want him to take the stand, and I want him to tell the truth on the record with the government. You're muted.
He'll have his shot.
Well, I hope he takes it.
What do we got on the spaces?
Angela was up and yeah, we got Reno. Reno, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, it looked like your hand was up.
Oh no, brother, that's my profile picture stands up.
Fucking Reno.
What, I didn't do nothing? Don't yell at me. Listen, I do have something to say though. Listen, this guy, some kind of atonement that this guy's looking for is never going to happen. There's a lot of people that his lives, he's ruined a lot of people's lives with his lies and with his with his bad judgment and with his weak-mindedness. And that's, for some people, unforgivable. You know, that's you know, you just don't do that. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, he can say what he wants to say about. A lot of people, if you know, you're put in my position, you'd have done the same thing, and that's a bunch of bullshit. Because there's five guys that were on trial that didn't do that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I have a lot to say, dude, but I'd rather not, because I don't want to get kicked off X.
There's also many people that held strong during, and you know, I don't listen, if you took a plea deal on January 6th, I don't think any less of you. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably logically you might have been smarter than us, to be honest, because you had no chance. You had no chance on any of these trials. You know, I think there's only one person that beat it pro se. I think his name's Will. But you got a lot of people that, you know, suffered through this, and you know, there needs to be some type of response. Look, we just lost 2 days ago. Another J6er committed suicide, you know, in a horrible way, and you still got a couple of J6ers that are still in prison. One of them's Dan Wilson, you know, so it's not Merrick Garland or Biden that's still holding back this administration. You know, I mean, those releases. It's our administration that's doing it. It's our DOJ that's doing it. I'm 100% sure that the president would do something if he knew something. That's why we need to make this noise.
How does he not know?
So
it's a fair question, dude. He's the president of the United States. This is
well. Here's where I'm going to push back on that a bit. So there's a million things going on, and nobody really knows what it takes to be the president of the United States. You wake up and you have national security briefings, and you have national security emergencies all day, every day. Does it cross his path? Yes, it does, but it needs more than that. It needs somebody from the administration to put this in front of him. Just because he's the president doesn't make him all knowing in this regard. He has a lot of good picks and a lot of good advisors, but he has a lot of bad picks. I want to like Pam Bondi. I really do want to. I want to be like,
Never.
oh, well, as a Floridian, I want to have pride in like having somebody make DC Florida again, but we already knew who Pam Bondi was in Florida, and we're like, absolutely not. So I do want to
There you go.
I do want to like her, but I can't. And it's not about patience. It's not, okay, well, wait till this happens. She's made poor decisions. Like, that's not a patience thing. That's not a thing where you wait. You either make a good decision or a bad. If something gets put in front of you, you could put it off for later, and I'll be like, oh, well, I'm being impatient or whatever. But then when you get that in front of you and you make a poor decision, that has nothing to do with fucking patience. So there's a lot of people whose lives need to be corrected. In my corner, I got Joe Biggs, I got Ethan Nordine, I got Zachary Rio, I got Dominic Pizzola. On the Oath Keeper side, Stuart Rhodes, Jessica Watkins, Kelly Meggs. There's a lot of people that need those pardons to get their life back together, because if you admit that there's the weaponization of government put these people in the position they're in, then you can't deny them getting their lives back in order. And things like this start moving. We're ticking. We're putting little dings in the system, but eventually, like I said a little while ago, we had another major witness in the case is going to recant his testimony. So something's happening. It's happening. But it's through our pressure. It's through you guys just hitting, something as simple as fucking just reposting this so people could listen, and people can start tagging.
Oh, okay.
People start tagging Ed Martin, right? So if you're, after this stream is over, I want you guys to go, not here in the comments on the live comments, because those tags don't work, but go ahead in the comment section, tag like Ed Martin, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, these people that have the power to do something, Ed Martin's been a great advocate for these issues, and he is doing something, but he's getting roadblocked on the way up there. Like kind of imagine trying to sit with the president for 5 minutes in a day. Like people wait their whole lives just to sit in that Oval Office just to tell the president something for 5 minutes. I'm happy he gave me 10 at one point, but things need to be corrected. Do we got any hands on the spaces?
Yes, we do. We have Adam, and then we have Land, and then Goldie is back up.
All right, let's rock. Let's do this.
Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Enrique.
What's up?
Meet you at CPAC, man. I don't know if you remember it. God bless you, man. And you're still fighting a good fight.
Thank you, Adam.
J6 to the, yeah, man. J6 to Rob, dude. I'm a 20 Army vet. I see that picture of yours, man. It looks great, bro. Look, man. I want to say something about the bureaucracy, and you made a comment, Enrique, about like government. So you may remember I'm a 20-year right guy, got guard, that's 7 years active. Rob is military, he knows that.
Okay.
But I joined the federal government in 2012. I got appointed under a Veteran Recruitment Authority, but VRA. I was in healthcare, like whatever, but it was awesome. I was happy. I started as GS8, moved my way up to GS13, got arrested on June in 2023, 2.5 years later. And yeah, dude, it rocked my world. Everything was down. I just decided I was a public servant, and I was fighting every day in the federal government, fighting the freaking bureaucracy, fighting the libs, fighting the freaking radicalism, fighting just stupidity, fighting I got a college degree, but I don't know how to write an email. So what I want to say real quick, and this is what I believe the problem is, and it's always like this. Like we just heard this fruitcake and CDC. Like, are you kidding me, guys? Like, this is the reality. The government is so freaking out of control, so big, so beyond the original founding fathers, that to try to fix it is not just nearly impossible. It's basically unfixable, except in small incremental changes in the little world that you have. And let me give you three examples. Jared Wise, who's a J6 here, you guys should know his name. He's now back at the DOJ. I talked to him and met with him. Because being a former Fed, you kind of like understand the bureaucracy and what you're fighting with every day. He's like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can make a difference because it's so bad. Like and like you saw, people not getting fired. Kyle Seraphin exposing the flight guy who probably listened to all the private conversations. I mean, there's so much. It's from college. Your parents are in the college, go to college, and you make government policy. You never live in the real world. And they're just filled. Like 80% of agencies, except DOD and maybe intelligence and everything, they're just freaking liberals. They don't care about America. They're just not regular Americans. And you can't fix like not having common sense, not being of the people, this and that. And I'm not saying like I didn't have a good outcome. Thank you, God. I did win some of my cases, but like I'm just saying that the government is so hard to fix, even in like incrementally, because you're always fighting the man. You're always fighting the system that Congress, and about Trump, he's always fighting the 100 U.S. senators. Like, dude, the fact that he picked somebody and a month later CDC to resign, it was a bad pick, but who gave him that pick? Like you said, like last point, Stuart Scheller, who was the only guy that had the balls to say Afghanistan was such a debacle. He got fired from it, he got all this crazy stuff, and now he's back there to fix it. But he knows there's freaking thousands of employees that he's got to fight on a daily basis with common sense solutions. And what pisses me off is that, you mentioned Pam Bondi. Like, dude, you know who she is? I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect her, who she is. She's a, Ron DeSantis, Floridian. I think people are waiting until Trump leaves, dude. I am so worried. And thank God we got pardoned. What Trump did for us was so against the advisors. Just 2 weeks prior, Vance was like, well, using the violent word again.
Yep.
Like, dude, I mean, we are fighting. Trump is trying his best. I hate people when against Trump. I know Trump made some mistakes here and there. Some of the things I think he did was wrong, but the reality is he's still the guy trying to fix the system. The bullet almost killed him in the back of the brain. He's that guy, but it's so hard. It's so hard. And I just want to say, that as a former federal employee, dude, it's so hard to make our country back to the original place where it was in the founding fathers. And it's just, we can never stop fighting. That's my point. And it's just so hard to fix it. And people who never worked in the government, they're like, oh, this and that. And, it's way harder than you think. And it just takes time. And I don't know if we have time, very candidly, but that's my thoughts, dude. It's very hard. And we just have to be patient. At the same time, it's hard. Like everybody's mad. But that's the point. Dan Bongino. I know he talked a lot. I know but dude, I actually think he's trying, but it's so freaking hard because if he can't go in there and shake it up, knowing who I know that guy personally, right? Even if you, Enrique, say you went in the government, dude, knowing who you are, knowing the fighter you are, knowing the freaking patriot you are, the guy I met at CPAC, who I was like, dude, and it was Stuart Rose, I was like, you guys are nothing. It doesn't the media lied about all of this. If you went in the government, dude, wore that shirt and tie every day and tried to fight the system, you would either last for 2-3 weeks or you would realize very quickly, holy crap, dude, this is a behemoth. I don't know if I can fix it. That's my point. And I just think it's so hard, man. I just want to make that comment as a former federal employee. And by the way, I'm doing well in the private sector by God's grace, miracle. Right. And I'm praying we get some restitution, through whoever we're using. A little something would be nice. But yeah, God bless, man.
Amen. Thank you, Adam. And I remember you very clearly, Adam. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Land, you're next.
Hey guys, I wrote it in the comments. I'm not going to be long. I'm going to let Angela go. I just wanted to say our country needs healing. Besides the most important, getting Joe Biggs and everybody else pardoned, the healing with our country, we will never heal. We have all lost family members. They've blocked us. They've literally blocked us out of their lives because they think we're terrorists. They think we are monsters. We will never heal. It is infuriating to me. I'm trying to be calm, but for someone to, and I know I'm not in that situation. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray it away. But I'm going to go to Angela. But we need healing. It will never heal because it hurt every single one of us in this country.
Amen.
Angela, go ahead.
So, as far as Jeremy goes, like he was, y'all were all innocent. Nobody should ever have to be in that position to choose between your family or your friends and by the United States government. None of y'all ever should have had to make that choice. So now he made the choice. And the reality is, or the bottom line is, you don't have to forget it to forgive him. But I do think that forgiveness it's for you. It's not for him. I certainly would never trust somebody that would do that to me. I totally understand why somebody would feel betrayed, why somebody wouldn't want to forgive, why somebody would be angry, because it's completely valid. And I think he knows that it's valid. And you can be sorry for more than one reason. He can be sorry for selfish reasons, but he could also be sorry because he lost friends who were important to him, which I guess at the core of it, I mean, he selfishly wants to be able to keep you guys after what he did. He can't do it. You can't go back. But I don't know, that's just, it's like Sophie's choice. You know, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. As far as these pardons go, you mentioned Jared Wise, Reno, and I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. I really do. We have veterans, specifically like Joe, that should have their life back. He was an ex-FBI agent, Jared Wise. He was there telling people to kill the cops. Now, whether he's innocent or not, or he was provoked or not, that is not anything what like these other men who are still suffering, who are still felons, are going through. It's like the government always makes the government officials whole first. And that is not how this is supposed to work at all. Trump could have done those pardons. I think that was Adam. Trump could have done those pardons on day one. They were intentionally left out. These sedition charges, the first Americans charged and convicted of sedition, this is a big deal. They were not violent. They were not armed. There was no proof of a conspiracy at all. Some random email that went into spam that Enrique didn't even read, and they knew he didn't read it, and it's evidence of a conspiracy? Like at a planned protest? You know? Does that even make sense to anybody? That is sedition. That is precedent. This is a big deal. Liberals aren't taking it seriously. Conservatives aren't taking it seriously. Trump could have done this a long time ago. And if we really want to be honest, Trump could have done it before he left office the first time. So I don't know what's going on. I know he's good for our country, but somebody around him is telling him bad information. So I hope that we have to keep talking about it. You know, the worst thing for our country is for innocent people to be convicted like this and to lose their freedoms. Our Constitution shall not be infringed. Period. We have rights. They violated, I don't know, like 5 or 6 amendments. It's crazy. The federal government is out of control. Innocent men should never have to make those decisions, and they should never have to wait for justice. Telling an innocent man who served this country, has two Purple Hearts, who nearly died, to be patient after 4 years in prison and another 8 months of waiting is asinine. I wouldn't even say that to him I would not even be able to do that. I would feel shame. So I'm done waiting. We don't need to wait. We need to push. These are innocent people. They don't deserve this. They never did. And it doesn't stop here. This is a test and what we'll tolerate. We have to put a stop to it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Yeah. And then, I have, Biggs was down here, and he's angry. He's angry and he has a reason to be angry. I don't know the story about the FBI agent. Or the person that was named or whatever. I don't know the circumstances there. But just given what I know right now in these past 5 minutes that we've been doing this, and I'm guessing that happened after January 6th, and he's probably still in jail for it. But you get this anger, that was caused by these persecutions. And I'm not going to say what he probably said is justified, but it's justified to feel that way. And
No, he works at the DOJ, Enrique.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. But
I think, Enrique, I know you're here for. I could give you a little background on that just to be really clear, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just briefly.
Jared Wise resigned from the federal government in 2018 when he saw Crossfire hurricane against Trump. He was so sick and tired of the anti-Trump thing. He was a conservative there. He resigned. He went to January 6th, like all of us, and protested, said a couple things like Gestapo, the police are horrible. He saw, aggressive, hitting and, from the cops to the people that we also, which, the word I'm looking for, aggressive, when you hit somebody, you shouldn't be as a cop, excessive force. And he saw that, and he got blasted, FBI arrested, accused, charged, never went to, his trial was on, his verdict was waiting when the pardon came down. So he only went back recently. He didn't even want to be there. He just said, I'm only going back if I can expose everything. I can't expose everything. I'm going. So he's the reason why they're having that second committee, January 6th. He's one of the guys giving the evidence to him, but he's not going to be named. So, they already tried to get rid of him. New York Times, CBS, and there all these hit pieces that there's a guy that was there that said kill police, and now he's back at DOJ. So he's not some, whatever. And by the way, to that lady, just to be very clear, everybody should be pardoned. We all said the Oath Keepers because they had bigger cases, so they couldn't just do it across the board. Everybody should be pardoned. No
I
question
agree.
is. And so Enrique knows that because him and I didn't do nothing. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to go there about my pardon. So we all know Enrique pardoned. We're all thankful who got pardoned. Jake Lang, you can name it. Doesn't matter. The point is, everybody should be pardoned. We're all on the same page. So Jared Wise is a good man. So just to be very clear. Thanks.
So, and then here's a situation with the pardons. And I keep hearing that violence thing. I heard it. I was in prison when I heard JD Vance say, "Oh, the nonviolent ones," and I didn't know where I sat on that because none of us were charged with actual touching cops or anything like that, or a conspiracy to hit cops or whatever. But the thing is that he had to pardon them not because of their actions. He wasn't pardoning the actions. He was pardoning the process also, right? Because if the process is corrupt, then justice wasn't handed out, meted out properly. So the pardon was the only solution to it. I don't know where the commutations came in because it's kind of odd. Because you would think that the commutations would come in on the violent ones or whatever. I'm using air quotes, but they didn't come on that. They came into the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers themselves. I was actually, I think, the only one that went through a sedition trial that was pardoned. Yeah, and then Patty's joining us in a sec. Patty, whenever you're ready, just give me a thumbs up. And then we had another question on the. Actually, let's go to you, Patty. I don't know if you've been following what's been going on. And to
And he's having audio issues, of course.
Actually, it's actually. Am I the only one that doesn't have audio issues?
I didn't have any audio issues at all today.
Yeah, all right.
Today.
I don't have audio issues. I just had to.
Thankfully, the green room's not recorded, or else I would be able. We've had 2 audio issues.
Okay, so that's the green room. I'm talking about live.
Patty, you ready to go, or is that?
Yeah,
sounds like,
you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah,
You're not coming through. You're not coming through your mic though.
Yeah, it's Osmo audio.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I'll fix that right now.
How many hands do we have up? Because I got to tie this up in a sec. I need to go.
Yeah, there we go.
Pen. Who do we have?
I actually don't see any hands unless they're not on my screen.
Okay, so
I don't see
go
any
ahead,
either.
Patty.
Let's go, Patty.
This sounds better now.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You almost robbed this thing up.
Yeah. So,
Listen.
So I just saw like a cataclysmic thing on the right wing media.
Yes,
Owen
I saw
Schroyer.
it. I saw
Owen
it.
Schroyer is not going to be working at InfoWars anymore.
Yep.
That's like fucking crazy.
I just texted him right now a little bit ago.
I know.
when
I
heard
text.
the news.
Well, I actually called in and I talked to him, and like that's how I started doing right wing media like years ago. He talked some shit to me on Twitter, and I got a shot on InfoWars, and Roger got really angry about my my tattoo, and it became like this big thing. And then I did, like, for years I did a bunch of appearances on his show on the War Room, and was a guest actually in the studio on the War Room, and now he's gone, and that's wild, man.
Yeah, and I was listening to a little bit of it while we were playing the interview, and it seems you guys got to watch it. He's actually, I think he's live right now, but I was watching a little bit of it, and the circumstances were actually surprising. But I encourage you guys to go ahead and watch that and make up your own mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an opinion on the whole thing, except to say that it really is like that's a big deal in right wing media. Like him not being there anymore is a big thing.
It's like Batman and Robin breaking up.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Like,
but I do think it has something to do with InfoWars now, that lawsuit, which perfect example of the lawfare, right? The lawfare that we saw against Alex Jones in this case, and one of his attorneys, actually the attorney that represented him in the Sandy Hook case, it was one of our attorneys at our criminal trial, Norm Pattis.
So,
So I guess I can't say anything about Sandy Hook, huh?
Norm Pattis absolutely hates me. I called Norm Pattis the stupidest son of a bitch I've ever met in my life, and he fucking absolutely detests me. But you know what? That's okay. Norm Pattis is the dumbest motherfucker who ever had a law degree in this country.
Norm, I'm with you. I'm Team Norm here.
I said, so I take it I shouldn't say anything about Sandy Hook, huh?
I mean, at this point, I'm sued by everybody. So if they want to sue the War Boys Studios, they're going to have to fucking get in line.
Well, dude, listen, there is a video out there, and I remember seeing it multiple times. And Alex Jones was not wrong about this. There was no AR-15 used in the death of those children. It was 2 handguns. They found the AR-15 in the trunk. The police chief said it.
I mean, what does that matter, though? I mean,
well, they used it to ban AR-15s in Connecticut.
Nobody banned AR. Are AR-15s banned in Connecticut?
The 30-round mags are, which nobody complied. Only 30 people turned in their mags. They were like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself, because fuck you." Right. But this was the push that they used to fucking do an assault weapons ban in Connecticut.
But they didn't get an assault ban.
You might want to look that one up.
All right,
No,
so
ask.
we'll talk about.
Tell me if
Right.
I'm wrong. Like, was there an assault weapons ban in Connecticut?
There is a assault weapons ban like California's and Massachusetts now, which wasn't there before.
Right. So
Sandy
what's
Hook.
The difference? What's the difference?
So it all has to be compliant to whatever their fucking stupid rules are. Like, you can't have like more than two features, and the features are stupid. And then, dude, it's just fucking pathetic. And
But it's
you can
not
go to
like outright like you can't have an AR or anything like that, right?
well, this ain't the spot for it, but we'll do it, and I'll read it to you, and you tell me.
No, seriously, but you can still have an AR-15 in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, grandfathered. They didn't just outright ban them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's get into this. You guys do your
But
homework,
We can talk about that. Yeah, we can talk about
They
that.
used Sandy Hook to be able to do that, and the fact is that the police chief said that the AR-15 was found in the fucking trunk, and those kids died by 9mm handguns.
All right. So, Patty, did you watch, by any chance, do you have any commentary on the interview? I don't know if you've gotten a chance to watch it.
What your
Jeremy.
interview with Jeremy? Yeah. So I did watch. I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch enough of it to be disturbed by it. I found it. I actually give you a lot of credit for being able to talk to somebody who betrayed you that just in a disgusting way, and not like want to get violent with that person. And
Well,
I'm sure if you were in the same room that you probably would have. But
I mean, yeah, that.
So okay, but I will
See,
give
I'm
you
supposed to
credit,
be
man.
nice.
I will give you credit for being able to talk to him and ask questions without freaking out. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Like, I honestly don't. We can have different political, opinions and disagree with each other, but for someone to lie to you to your face for like a long time and then screw you over that way, I just for me, like I just think that there is no, that's the lowest form of life, is for someone to be a hack like that. And
A rat.
I don't know how you did it, man. Like, but
he should have done what you did, right?
Yeah, but he didn't.
Just come up, because for those that don't know, because there's a lot of people on here. For those that don't know, Patty testified as a defense witness in our case, and he didn't testify as a friend. He testified to the truth, which is your duty. It's supposed to be, you go to civics class and you're like, oh, well, when you go to jury duty, you got to, when you testify or witness, be a witness, you're there to say the truth. And he did, and that's what he should have done. That's what.
Yeah,
he should.
but he took the opportunity to, get himself off of whatever charge that they were gonna put on him. Yeah, it was just it was really hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch because I think that people don't understand. Like, you guys were facing 20 years, like, and it's when it's in the abstract, you think, oh well, facing 20 years, you try and do 20 years, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, that's not something that's easy to do or whatever. And he chose to be a sucker, man. He chose to be a rat. And I don't have any respect for that. I don't think anybody should have any respect for that. It wasn't clear to me that he was really asking for forgiveness, because if he did, then I could say, well, okay, maybe you could, maybe you could forgive somebody for something like that. But it's not entirely clear to me that he was actually even asking for forgiveness. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not down with it. It was really hard to watch, but I think it was good that you did it. I appreciate the fact that you did, but I don't know that he deserves any credit for anything.
And I'm not giving him any credit. I just wanted to get to the truth. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I was seeking there. I was doing the job that the prosecutors should have done at that point.
Which they were never going to do in the first place. But.
Hire me to cross-examine people. I'll do it. But pretty much, I think we're pretty. If there's not any hands, we're gonna go with the closing.
Okay, so no, you guys go ahead and say what you want to say, and then I'll close the space out. But the thing is he was too stupid to realize that the maximum federal penalty for felon in possession of a firearm is 7 years.
Yeah, and
so they
on a first charge, the average is about like 2 to 4.
Yeah, and he probably would have got out with 18 months. If you can't do fucking 18 months
less.
Well, I mean,
yeah, given all
maybe even less.
Good time.
Yeah, even if he took it to court, he would have done less than 2 years. If you can't do 2 years to protect your boys, to help them not get 22 fucking years, I'm sorry. Fuck off. If you're too stupid to realize, or your attorney at the time, because you had an attorney, wasn't smart enough to tell you. So as far as I'm concerned, and this may piss people off, but I think his fucking attorney, I know his attorney was complicit in getting him the fucking lie.
Yeah, I agree.
So the fact that they were scaring him with 20 or 25 years for felon in possession, no, bullshit. Bullshit. Any fucking attorney worth their weight would have told him straight out, listen, you're going to do 2 years. Okay?
Yeah.
To not sell my bros out? Fuck that noise.
Yeah. So, Patty, any last words here?
No, I think it's just it was a heartbreaking thing to watch, and I think it's worth watching the whole thing. I would encourage everybody who's watching now to watch the interview and to understand how important this is, because it's just talking about it, just us bullshitting, like, doesn't really do it justice. So watch the interview.
Yeah, I'll replay it tonight, late night, probably like at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And then here's my, I already went on a monologue right after the thing, so I'm not going to go on a monologue, but I guess I'm just going to
you full screen yourself.
Yeah. So I got an important announcement to make too.
Okay. I'm busting your balls. We haven't laughed at all this entire fucking episode, dude.
Well, you didn't see me laugh at all during the interview with Jeremy. Well, until Patty came in, we did laugh a little bit there. So there's something else that it's pinned to the top of my profile. We're going to start doing this every about 2 weeks. It's called the Giving Back Auction. It's a live auction that will be on multiple people's X accounts. And then right here in the comments is where we're going to run the live auction. So, and the purpose of it, it's called Giving Back J6. It's something similar to what we do with the Proud Boys when the Proud Boys internally are in need. But the Giving Back auction, we're going to get like these unique pieces, right, and auction them off live for whatever they go for. And this next Monday, we're going to be auctioning off this piece. It's a wooden piece of art by a couple. They're the J6 couple. It's Deb and Flip, and it's signed by a whole bunch of J6ers that were down here in Miami. And actually, as a matter of fact, Owen Schroyer's signature, because Owen Schroyer is a fellow J6er also. A lot of people forget that. So Joe Big signed it. I signed it. Ethan signed it. Zach, Dominic Pizzola, and a lot of other people have signed it. So we're going to be auctioning it off live. Go ahead and click on my profile. It's on the top of the page. and just take a look at the times. It's next Monday at 7 p.m. live auction for Deb and Flip, and then the next auction will be two weeks after that. I appreciate you guys for watching the second episode of the NBLE podcast. And if you want to support me, there's two ways to support me. You can either go to 1776.shop and buy some cool offensive merchandise, or you could go to my Substack. It's noblelead.substack.com, or just go to Substack and search for Noble Lead or Enrique Tario, and go ahead and purchase a paid subscription. If you become a founder, you'll get a personal call from me, and you'll get a gift bag of goodies from the 1776 shop. Some custom gear if you want. You know, you call when on that call, tell me, hey, I want a Proud Boys Did Nothing Wrong shirt in whatever color you want. I will custom make pieces for you. So I appreciate you guys for supporting me, and thank you, Rob, for hosting, and thank you, Patty, for joining. And I'll give it to you, Rob, to close it out.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for supporting the show. Thank you guys for coming into the space and being a part of this. I want to say that if you guys want to support me in this endeavor, then the Critical Mass store is open on the 1776.shop. We should be dropping hoodies tomorrow, because there is a difference.
There is.
Yes. There is a difference. Yes. I don't know, man. I just always call them fucking sweatshirts. But yeah, so the hoodies are going to drop tomorrow. They say man up, fight back, 0 fucks on the back. They say 0 fucks going up the arm, and it has Critical Mass in the front, so it's a pretty cool sweatshirt. And my hats should be mailed out this week, and they should be live on the store too. Listen, I don't do subscriptions. I don't believe in it. I do what I do here for you guys for nothing. I'll never do subscriptions. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy energizing and incentivizing people to get out there and take your country back. But I do put a lot of work into this. I spend probably about 40 hours a week in here. And I want you guys to actually get something tangible. And I think the shirts are cool as fuck. And if you guys want to support me, go to the shop, do that. This week, tomorrow, I'm having a conversation on the phone with Brooklyn Brawler. And I'm looking to hopefully book him for the show on Friday. So I hope you guys look out for that. That is going to be a great interview. Brawler and I have been following one another since I got on X. And he's a good dude. He's got a positive message, man. He really does. I think it's going to be a great conversation. And we're in talks with a couple other people that one of them might be the biggest fucking interview I've ever done and probably will ever do, but we'll see how that one goes. I'm not going to mention any names yet until I actually seal the deal.
It's Ted Nugent.
And no, it's not Ted. It's actually not Ted Nugent. It's an actor.
He's interviewing Enrique Tario.
Yeah. Oh God. Listen to this motherfucker's ego. But yeah, seriously, guys, thank you very much for coming in tonight. Thank you guys very much for supporting. Thank you to everybody in the space for sharing the live out and sharing the space out and being a part of this. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys Wednesday night on Critical Mass and back to normal time, 5 to 7. And are we doing the war stream?
We're doing the war stream, and we will be playing
Division
Gears
2.
of War.
I gotta download that. God damn it!
And there goes. Who let Reno in here?
He's on the space.
Who let this guy in here? We'll talk about this on the car ride.
All right.
But the war stream goes live on Wednesday, and
Patty's Patty's shirt.
Patty also doesn't only not surf, but Patty also doesn't have a store where you can buy that.
Yeah, you can't have this shirt. I just wanted to show it off. You can't have it.
All right,
I got
guys,
my one shirt.
We're closing out. Thank you for watching, and we might be on tomorrow morning.
Yeah. All right. So.
Proud Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male dominating.
And this right here shows you the power when we, the right wing, unite.
Leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon killing demons. I'ma go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. If you're gonna bring the hate, we can bury it today. We all been lost, we all been cold. Everyone rise to our brethren code. We got your back, we all been low. Let's all rise to the brethren.
But in no other nation do people enjoy greater freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America. USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first.